I'm Hital.
I'm Anuja, and today we are making an eggless dates and walnut cake. This recipe was submitted to us by Anam Arunachalam from Abu Dhabi. It's a fabulous, easy cake, and here's what you'll need.
Approximately 20 dates, 1/4 cup chopped walnuts, 1 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 1 4-ounce stick of butter, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons baking soda.
So, Anam, thank you again for this wonderful recipe. What we're going to do is we have this dates over here. We've warmed up some water and we're going to just pour it in here just to the point that it covers it. What you're looking for is you want the water to soften the dates so you can make a paste, so you can add it to the cake. So, and we're just going to cover it and we're just going to leave it for a little while, for about half an hour or so, and meanwhile start working on the other things and get to this after.
Okay, so we have a sieve like this. If you don't have one exactly like this, that's fine. Any which way to sift your flour, basically. So we have our all-purpose flour goes in here.
And this is our baking soda and baking powder. Now this is a very important step. You want to make sure you do it because there are lumps in there and you want to want it to be a fine powder. So technically they say that cakes you should always sift 3 times, but I think 1 is good.
Once is enough.
1 is good. If you do a good job, you won't need to do the other 2 times.
And the other important thing, when you're using baking powder or baking soda and you just dump it in there, sometimes if you don't mix well, you get an entire chunk of baking soda or baking powder, and of course that's not good. So this also helps it mix equally. Okay, so we'll just wait for our dates to soak and we'll be back.
So it's been about half an hour and we've transferred the dates in here. Of course, make sure there are no pits in there. Very important. I forgot to mention that earlier.
Yeah, very important.
And we've added a little bit of water from the water that was soaking, and we're going to try and blend it and make a paste out of it. And you might have to add a little bit more just to get the the blades going and to form a good smooth paste. Right, it's done. It looks good. It's formed not a super smooth, but a pretty good paste.
And that took about maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. But again, depending on your type of blender which you're using, you may have to use a little extra water. Yes. So just add it a little bit at a time. Yep. And in the meantime, we have our oven preheating at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. It's about 180 degrees Celsius. Yes. And we're going to eventually bake our cake in there, but it's good to get it preheated.
So you sifted the 3 things, the maida or the all-purpose flour, the baking powder and the baking soda. But we're going to give it one more mix just to make sure it's all over the place. And we've also heated up the butter in the microwave for about 15 seconds. So it's not absolutely liquidy, but it's very soft so that it mixes in well with the dry ingredients. And here you go, here's the butter. And the dates paste also goes in here. So the dates also, not only do they provide sweetness, they also provide a beautiful color to the cake.
And dates are super healthy. They have a really good source of fiber. And we also have our sweetened condensed milk. It's my favorite part of the dessert.
Yes, actually I love to work with condensed milk because you get to lick the can. I mean, you have to lick that, that's it.
By the way, condensed milk makes a very good fruit dip. So if you cut up a bunch of fruits, cantaloupe, grapes, apples, and you just have a bowl of this and provide some toothpicks to your guests and everybody can dip in there. It's awesome.
Instant.
Instant fruit dip, right? And we're going to give this a good mix. Blend all the ingredients together.
So actually, a little bit more about the person who gave us this, Anam. She's from Abu Dhabi. In Abu Dhabi there's abundance of dates, so she came up with this recipe. And her original recipe had only dates, but we added in a little bit of walnuts just to counteract the, just to give it a little crunch. But feel free to eliminate it if you want. Absolutely fine. It was great without the walnuts, and it's great with the walnuts as well.
And actually, another tip she said is you can use any other fruit.
Oh,
I think she mentioned pineapple. So if you're a big pineapple fan, you can substitute the dates for pineapple and make the exact same recipe.
Right.
Okay, so this is mixed well.
And over here we have a baking pan, and we're just going to just spray some cooking oil very lightly so that the cake doesn't stick. And in this, once this is very well mixed in, we're going to add in the walnuts.
And just fold them in. Okay?
Yep. And in it goes. We're just going to flatten it out with our hands, just move the pan around, and in it goes into the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius, in the middle of the oven, not very close to the top or to the bottom.
And we're going to bake it for about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So our cake baked for 40 minutes in our oven, but everybody's ovens are different, so please check on yours. And a good way to find out if your cake is done is to stick a fork or toothpick in the center, and if it comes out clean, then your cake is ready.
Right. And it smells so good.
Yummy.
The wonderful smell of dates, awesome, and baking. So what we've done is we've taken it out of the oven and we've left it out alone for about 5 minutes, and we've just let it rest before we take it out of the pan. And then we're going to move it to a baking rack and allow it to cool over here further. Now the advantage of this is it gives it air from all sides, so there's no moisture being formed on any one side. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is the advantage of this one. It comes off, the ring comes off.
This was like a cheesecake pan.
Yes.
Spring form.
But it's good for people like us. And
Still kind of hot at the bottom.
there you go. And we just remove that.
Perfect.
Yep. And now we let it cool down further. And before we cut it, actually hotcakes taste good.
Yeah, unless you're planning to frost this,
Yes.
which we're not.
Right.
You can have it right now, nice and warm. Actually, tastes very good. But if you're going to put any kind of frosting on there, then it has to cool down all the way.
Yes.
Make sure there's no warmth coming out of it whatsoever. Otherwise, your frosting will just melt all over.
Right, but I think it will taste. Hotcakes are the best, so dig in if you want to. So thank you again, Anam, for this wonderful eggless cake, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are looking for it.
They will really appreciate it, I'm sure.
Here's a different, we've shown you another one before, and here's another one. So join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding a pinch of spice to your life.